Hey everybody, once again it is thank you, happy to be here, and I am testing out another new version of Linux, new to me anyway, and what I've got here is Bodhi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe it's Bodhi. I don't know. Let me go ahead and pull up. I'll show you how it's spelled, and then you guys can kind of take the pronunciation of it from there. So since I already have it installed, I'm just going to go to, I think it was NeoFetch. There we go. So we got Bodhi. It's easier to pronounce that way. 7.0, and it's listing it as an Inspiron 5555, which it is a 5000 series. It's running on the Moksha window manager on the Enlightenment desktop environment, which I think is a first for me. I don't think I've used that before. But here it shows my memory again. And again, it does show less than 8 gigabytes, but it was explained to me by a viewer that the reason why is just because it's not accounting for everything that's required on like a base level for the system to just run. So this is what I've got left over to work with, is about 7 gigabytes. But it's enough. It's enough for me to be able to film a video and run the applications that I need. So I'll go ahead and exit out of the terminal there. And let's pull up, I guess we'll pull up the browser and we'll just check out some information about the operating system itself. Like I said, it looks like, what did it say that the desktop environment was? It was something like Moksha or Moksha, which again is new for me. I've never run an operating system that uses that particular desktop environment, but it is what it is. So the default homepage that you automatically launch into is the Bodhi Linux website. But if I go to our trusted distro watch, here we go, and then I'll just type in the name. Let's see what it has to say about it. So here we are. So it's based on Debian, Debian, Ubuntu, and it does say here the desktop is, I guess a lot of, I think I've heard Enlightenment used a lot more than Moksha, but that's the desktop environment that it runs on, and I believe on this particular version of Linux, I think the default way to install new packages, new applications, was through, I don't know why I'm at a loss for words today. It's not Discover, it's Synaptec. And I've talked about Synaptec in the past and how I kind of like the Synaptec package manager. So let's see, is it under System Tools? There it is. This is talking out of complete ignorance on how things work, but it's just been my experience that when I install something out of Synaptec, it tends to just work. And again, I'm speaking out of complete ignorance. I don't know if this is how it works, but I feel like, just based on my experience, that maybe somehow it's installing applications or maybe their dependencies based on what's going to run best on my computer. And again, because I'm speaking out of complete ignorance, maybe that's not the case. Maybe I've just been completely lucky when I'm using the Synaptec package manager. And if it doesn't work that way, and if there isn't a package manager that already exists that works that way, maybe there should be. Maybe if people are like running older systems with different kind of limitations that you would find in a more modern system, that maybe there should be a package manager, so that way somebody who maybe doesn't have the money to upgrade or just doesn't want to upgrade can be pointed in a direction where people can just say, hey, this might be the version of Linux that you want to run, because it like a lot of people will say, it just works. Because it just works, because you can install packages that your system is like, I don't think there's any guarantees when it comes to this kind of stuff, but as close to a guarantee as possible that it's just going to work. It's going to analyze your system and pick out the package that it knows will run based on what your system has to offer. And I don't know if Synaptec works that way. I just know out of my experience that when I install a new OS to this computer and that OS comes with the Synaptec packager pre-installed, then when I install something like OBS Studio, it tends to just work. And when I think I've installed a couple of versions of Linux where the software manager was different, or maybe they just offered you the terminal to install new packages from. I could go in there and install Synaptec and use that as my graphical package manager, and again, things would just work. So as you've seen, and if you've watched any of my previous reviews of different versions of Linux, you just go into Synaptec, you type in the application that you want it to search for and find for you. Again, if you're noticing any kind of slowdown, it's more than likely the limitations of my machine or my internet access, because I'm sharing this internet connection with a household. I would never say that this is reflective of how well this operating system performs. My whole purpose of making these videos is to show that you don't need the newest $1,000 machine in order to do things like create a video. If you just want to create a video that you can post to YouTube or what have you, you can do that using a computer like this, which again, if you've looked at any of my previous videos, you'll know that this computer I paid $5 for. So that's the whole purpose behind a lot of these videos. Let's see, I did ask for it to search for OBS, and maybe it just pulled up results on anything that matched that search string. So let's try. I'm sure it's in that list, but let me see if I can get a more refined list if I type in OBS Studio. And I might not. It might. Oh, there we go. So OBS. There's OBS Studio, and then you see the little green box. That's to indicate that I've already got it installed. And obviously I do, because I'm recording this video right now. So once I've got it, once I've got the video completed, I will use another application that I installed through here, and that application is, let's see, under sound and video, is KdenLive. So I use KdenLive in almost all of the videos that I produce using a desktop, a Linux desktop, because I just find it really easy for the type of workflow that I do. But there are a lot of other video editors, video production software that you can use, and it's almost all entirely free. I've never paid for one. It's a good idea that if they give you an option to donate, maybe donate. Usually there's not a fixed amount, so you can donate whatever you want to. But if you find value in these projects, I would say it'd either be a good idea to probably donate or spread the word to other people, because maybe they can get donations that way, and keep programs like this going. But I find a lot of value in KdenLive. I use it a lot. That's my primary video editor for producing these videos. But that's it. That's just a quick overview of this version of Linux, Bodhi, and just what you can do with it on an older laptop. But if you find these videos helpful or informative or entertaining, be sure to give it a thumbs up. So like, comment, subscribe, leave a recommendation. Your recommendation might just be my next video. And with that, I'm out. Peace.